There's this episode of South Park where Stan's dad goes on Wheel of Fortune and says the N-word, national television. And everybody's upset with him. And he spends the entire episode basically apologizing to black people, even going as far as going to Jesse Jackson and kissing his behind, rather literally. And the B plot in this episode is Stan and Token Black. Yes, Token Black. I've loved that name since they came up with it, because Trey and Parker are hilarious. Token Black, they're beefing because Stan's like, look, I get it. You never should have said it XYZ, and Token's just like, you can't get it. Stan rolls up on Token and says, hey, Jesse Jackson said it was cool. It's all good. And Token turns and says, Jesse Jackson is not the emperor of black people. And you know what? Neither is Al Sharpton. We have this article coming to us from Politico.com. Sharpton, Trump has particular venom for black people. This is written by Daniel Strauss. And there's a video up here that we're going to get into in a moment. You can see them all. Oh, how dares Trump sit here and say the truth about what's been going on in our town? Like, come on, yo. Like, you pull out Al Sharpton. I've actually been curious, like, where has Al Sharpton been? Because everybody's sitting there crying racism, and Al Sharpton hears racism, so let's get to this article. Reverend Al Sharpton shot back at President Donald Trump over his criticism of Rep. Elijah Cummings, saying the president has particular venom for blacks and people of color. Yeah, he using that language. That's that. Like, I hate to sit here and say liberal and like just slap that label on it. But unfortunately, I'm only seeing it coming from one way. Like this day, like the fox and the wolf, right? Malcolm used to talk about the fox and the wolf all the time, and the foxes have had their way in the urban community, democratically run communities. I mean, the foxes have just been setting them up and eating fantastic off of the sheep, for lack of a better term. The remarks, delivered Monday at a previously scheduled gathering to discuss home ownership in black communities, came after Trump directed a barrage of Twitter abuse, really, this weekend at Baltimore and Cummings. Abuse, he ain't sending the National Guard or anything else like that. He was sitting there speaking some very, very real-ish. The chairman of the House Oversight Committee, which has launched numerous investigations into the Trump administration, because he's taken obstruction to whole new heights. So yeah, President Trump, you can't sit there and keep taking shots and expect a few not to come your way. That's why you need to make sure that home is nice and tight before you go out and criticize others. Cummings district is a disgusting rat and rodent infested mess, the president tweeted. If he spent more time in Baltimore, maybe he could help clean up this very dangerous and filthy place. Where the president is really missing is that there are nice areas of Baltimore. And it's like every county, every district, there are nice areas, there are rundown and terrible areas. And within, particularly black-faced, black represented districts and areas, the nasty, deteriorated, garbage and rodent and vermin infested areas, they are rampant, and they do nothing but get worse as the time goes on. But because these electeds can go to their nice areas and take the pictures and stuff like that, and we gonna give you guys this little bit of money and stuff like that, we all know that it's not popping for nothing. He doesn't refer to any of his other opponents or critics as infested, Sharpton said at a Baltimore church. He does not attack their districts. He attacks Nancy Pelosi. He attacks Chuck Schumer. He attacks other whites. But he never says their districts or their states are places that no human being wants to live. I'm pretty sure Nancy Pelosi has areas, and so does Chuck Schumer have areas that are run down and dilapidated. That's just the way this rolls, But when it comes to Baltimore, when it comes to Chicago, when it comes to Newark, when it comes to Camden, when it comes to LA, south side of LA, when it comes to these areas, they like Miami, Houston, Dallas, urban centers, the urban, one quote unquote, or once known as metropolitan areas, they've become slums. They've been ghettos the entire time, but they're also slums. But there's money to be made in these places being as they are, via the prison system, via the Dollar Generals that can, oh yeah, we're gonna food deserts, so we're just gonna slap a Dollar General right there and make sure that, you know, they only have the processed BS to go off of. I mean, there's so many different angles and ways in which urban America has been attacked and dismantled and decimated that Sharpton, Jackson, all of these voices for the urban communities, they're overseers more than anything else. They're Democratic Party overseers. Sharpton was joined at the event by Michael Steele, the former lieutenant governor. Isn't that the dude that looked like Grover from Sesame Street? Governor of Maryland, who later served as chairman of the Republican National Committee. Steele, who is black, called Trump's attacks reprehensible. Of course he did, because he's brought and paid. Yeah, it's that guy. It's not Steele. It's not Grover. He looked like one of the Muppets. I'm not sure. Mr. President, your reprehensible comments are like water off a duck's back when it comes to this community, Steele said. It just washes over them. It doesn't stick to them. Is Sharpton or Steele residents of Baltimore? Do they live in those projects? You know, I mean, were they extras in The Wire? I'm confused. Sharpton said that Cummings district is the most well-educated and middle-class aspiring district of blacks in this country, and that Trump attacks everybody. Earlier Monday morning, Trump went after Sharpton on Twitter as well, saying that he hates whites and cops. I mean, shoot, like Sharpton, I don't think he hates him, but I think his pay comes in projecting that image. But I mean, that is Sharpton's money right there. Like, let's not. I know Donald Trump. He's not mature enough to take criticism, Sharpton said. He can't help it. He's like a child. Somebody says something, he reacts. He's thin-skinned and not really mature in that way. Sharpton said he would keep calling out Trump. As for his attacks on me personally, Donald Trump and I have known each other for over 25 years, Sharpton said. Yeah, y'all was chilling. Y'all was cool. But as soon as he become president and the Democratic Party is like, Sharpton, we need you to completely like hate and disparage this dude. Like, I know they had the beef with the Central Park 5 thing, but even before then, I'm pretty sure like you could there's going to be a picture of him smiling with Donald Trump. There's a picture of all of them smiling with Donald Trump. I mean, which really nullifies a lot of their arguments. I've marched on him with the Central Park 5, dealt with him on the birther issue. Now let's get into this video, because really, Sharpton, you're so full of caca. Let's pop that on out.
Little did I know that Mr. Trump was going to, on the eve of this, attack the Congress.
See, you want to hear something about like that National Action Network? Yeah, I don't want that National Action Network. I'm like, hey, well, how we gonna fix this poverty thing? Well, let's put it into a committee. Or, well, what are you talking about, poverty? I don't know. Let's give out book bags, and let's give out like homeless people. Let's feed homeless people. That's their whole thing. You have these gigantic networks, right? These gigantic organizations, and they're like, oh yeah, let's feed people. Like, no, let's sit here and demand that the family courts go back into a better direction that makes it better for our families. You know, let's demand that these laws, the drug laws and the drug war in particular, get dismantled, because look at what it's done to these communities. It's been a major catalyst in why Baltimore is in the shape that it's in. Yet you have all these organizations, the NANs, whatnot, what have you, that do nothing. They sit there and do these like tiny little things that won't help worth a damn, and then look at you weird and catch an attitude and get all butthurt and in their feelings when you point that out. Like, this ain't fixing or solving a damn thing, and then they got the nerve to look at you like you a problem.
From this city, and not only the congressmen, but the people of this city, in the most bigoted and racist way.
They keep saying it's racist, but there's just truth. That's it. It's not racist. You're sitting there with your race tinted goggles on, not even bothering to acknowledge the fact that, oh, no, all these people are just doing great jobs. Nigga, how you know that? How do you even know? You don't. Not at all. But, yeah, they're doing this great job and they're doing the best that they can, and not a single soul even considers the policies, don't even consider the legislative measures that have been put in place to knock them out. I know firsthand experience with these types of organizations and individuals, and he ain't nothing but a full profit like BS preacher at that.
He attacks everybody. I know Donald Trump. He's not mature enough to take criticism. He can't help it. He's like a child. Somebody says something, he reacts. He's thin-skinned, and
somebody says racism, you react. Yeah, and it's not that you're thin-skinned or anything else like that. It's just that you're a profiteer, an easy to see through profiteer. If you're not one of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the thousands beyond them that soak this I'm a victim, there's always something wrong type of mentality that gets us absolutely nowhere. This man is dripping soy goo.
Not really matured that well, but he has a particular venom for blacks and people of color. Where?
First Step Act's was pretty cool. I ain't seen nothing but black people getting the heck out of freaking prison, or the executive orders that he took on monuments for in pardons of many people, including Hurricane, the boxer who was falsely imprisoned. I mean, this is such a terrible and awful system that we got in place that it'd take forever and a day to completely unwind and completely get things correct. But to sit here and be like, oh yeah, he's just racism and he has all this venom for blacks, when, I mean, on books, on paper, the black unemployment is, at its all-time low. I personally am seeing people going out and getting pretty okay paying jobs while we're at it. I mean, instead of sitting there and saying, hey, these are the good things, as well as I'm not a fan of how I feel, and you know how I feel about feelings. Your feelings can go somewhere, but if you do want to get into feelings, you make it damn sure clear that you're talking about your feelings and not anything factual. And that's the thing. They sit there and act as if their feelings are the facts. Unfortunately, that's just not what it is here, Reverend Sharpton.
He doesn't refer to any of his other opponents or critics as infested.
He didn't refer to Elijah Cummings as infested. He hasn't referred to anyone as infested. He referred to Baltimore, and which is actually rat infested, as rat infested. Why is this hard for you? That's my question. Why are you... Oh, wait, no. I'm sorry. We already know the answer to that. He's nothing but a grifter and a opportunist. And a person who, back in the 70s and 80s, played a race thing because it was cute. Now we are reaching very dangerous levels with the race thing, and folks like Al Sharpton really shouldn't have the type of flat platforms that they do. But they have them because, there are areas in which that mentality is not only encouraged, but it's fostered and cultivated. All these people come from the Baltimore type areas. You can look at your Detroit. You can look at all over the nation, all the urban communities over the nation, and see that that mentality of, oh my goodness, well white folk owe somebody something, and this, that, and the third, and all this all this animus. Yeah, it's cultivated there.
He does not attack their districts. He attacks.
Their districts are sitting there really leaning on the welfare states like that. But either though, he goes directly at them as well. Let's make no mistakes.
Nancy Pelosi attacks Chuck Schumer. He attacks other whites, but he never said that their districts are places that no human being wants to live.
Do you live in Baltimore? I mean, solid question, right? I mean, Cory Booker tried to pull that nonsense with with staying in the North projects for a couple of days, and yeah, he could barely cut it. The deal is that you don't want to be in these areas. Nobody with any good sense do, except for the people that are just institutionalized in a lot of ways. went to see my cousin the other day. He's sitting there telling me about like a boy that we knew named Wink, who was so institutionalized that the man barely knew what to do with his freedom in the outside world. And that's generational. He's like third, fourth generation jail brother. So yeah, all this came to us from Politico. And ultimately, Al Sharpton really shouldn't be taken seriously by anyone because, like, really, what has it bore? How are our families? How are our communities any better? The president was correct, whether you like it or not. So I'm glad that he sparked this. Let's have these conversations. That's what the comments are for. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike it, go ahead, do that too. I'm not scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share because sharing is caring, and YouTube's definitely not going to do it. And speak. Let me know, what do you think in the comments? Am I wrong for really seeing how our families and our communities have been completely dismantled and disregarded? And the people such as Reverend Sharpton, quote unquote Reverend Sharpton, who are supposed to make things better or do nothing but, like, profit and make things worse, sell snake oil to the residents of these places, who then turn around and defend these people who do nothing but exploit them. Let me know what you think in the comments. Till the next one.